This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction to the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields. Come to you with probably the most frustrating loss of the year, at least for me. I mean, there's so many things that went wrong in this game, specifically in the coaching side of things and in the bullpen side of things that I honestly cannot wait to get into because it's time to call out some people, which I don't like to do, but it's been so egregiously bad for the last week that it needs to happen. So we're going to talk about the bullpen just needs a complete reset. We're going to talk about if this is the worst loss of the year. Talk about the good of the offense and the bad. We're also going to sprinkle in some Taj Bradley talk, and then we're going to look ahead to see how the Rays can avoid a sweep. But first, we got to talk about what the heck is Kevin Cash doing?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Taj Bradley was fantastic to get to the point. He went 5 2/3, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, and I think Cash pulled him out at the right time. When he gave up that single to Royce Lewis, or I don't even think he's the one that gave up, but regardless, after the hit, they took him out. They brought in Kevin Kelly. And I had no problem with when they took out Taj Bradley. I would have liked to see him face Lewis, but you know it's the matchup thing. I get Lewis struggled against sinker ball pitchers, which is what Kevin Kelly is. Kevin Kelly lately has been throwing 90 right down the middle, so there's not much of a sinker to it. He's been awful, and his performance in this game today is not on him. It is on Kevin Cash because there is zero reason why Kevin Kelly should have been in that game today. Absolutely zero. I get the matchup. I get the analytics, but there's sometimes you just got to understand that a guy does not have it. And throwing him without a day's rest after he struggled the day before is really not an optimistic situation for me. Egregiously bad. You have Eric Orsi, who I would have put in. That's why you put in Eric Orsi in that spot. He hasn't pitched him, which seems like forever. Everyone the Rays pitched today outside of Mason Montgomery, who I think is the Rays' worst reliever, pitched yesterday. I cannot, even though you said it was fantastic, I cannot believe they threw him again. His arm is going to fall off with the amount of pitches he's thrown. We talked about it yesterday. He's thrown at least 20 pitches in 4 of the last 7 days. And then the worst of it all, we go to Clevenger, who threw yesterday and was bad again yesterday. Why do you have a reliever in Pete Fairbanks if you're not going to use him when you're supposed to use your best reliever? But we'll talk about that because that's the turning point of this game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Back-to-back days, Kevin Cash refuses to put in Pete Fairbanks in the bottom of the 9th inning. Why? I don't know. He's done it for the last 3 years. I don't know why all of a sudden he's just stopped now. Look, I love Kevin Cash. There is no questioning. There's no Kevin Cash should be fired. There's no Kevin Cash this or that. There's none of that. But his decision-making this year in a few games has been more questionable than usual. I mean, I don't even get the matchups with Clevenger in. He's going to face 3 righties. I really don't get it. I get really Castro hits a little bit worse from the right side. I get it. But a guy that pitched yesterday and struggled yesterday, he's the reason why the Rays, frankly, lost the game yesterday. He hit the 2 batters, which led to things kind of unraveling. So to me, that was almost as worse putting Kelly out there. And when you put Kelly out there, it's only a matter of time to see what's going to happen with him. I mean, it was so bad, so mismanaged. It's almost, it's almost, the Rays should be up 2-0 in the series. The Rays should be tied for first in the American League East. The Rays should not be losing these games. And, the Rays are not good enough to have these games even out in the future. They're not good enough to win games they're not supposed to. The Rays need to win the games they're supposed to win. And they have not been doing that this trip. And on top of that, it's you're going to Detroit next, and you're going to Fenway, where it's been a struggle to play the Red Sox, especially this season. So this was the series you had to win, and against a team who hasn't won a series in a month. It's just been embarrassing by Kevin Cash and his bullpen. So does the bullpen need a complete reset? Absolutely. I don't know if that's bringing people up. I don't know if that's bringing up Seymour, or I think it's just simply throwing guys that haven't thrown in like a week. Let me go look up the last time Eric Orsi has pitched, because he hasn't pitched since he threw 2 innings, and I don't know if he's dealing with an injury because he's not a 2-inning reliever. We shouldn't be trying to turn him into something he's not. Eric Orsi has not pitched since Wednesday. Today's Sunday. There's no reason why he should not have been on the shelf for that long. You go up and down this list. Pete Fairbanks, the Rays' best reliever, has not pitched since Wednesday. Again, and then all of a sudden he's warming up in the ninth when it's first and third. A little bit too late. He needs to be starting the bottom of the ninth inning. He is your best reliever. He is your closer. That's who you need being in the game in the bottom of the ninth inning. Should have been in yesterday. Should have been in today. An embarrassing loss against a bullpen day for the Twins. I mean, I haven't been this fired up on a postcast in a very long time, but this was an incredibly, incredibly frustrating loss because you blow a really good Taj game. I mean, the way Taj got out of the bases loaded jam early in the game, the way that he was able to fight, I mean, he made such big pitches, and it was spoiled by incompetence by the bullpen and by Kevin Cash. Just a disgusting performance, disgusting loss, and this is probably the most harsh I've ever been. And again, this is not a fire Kevin Cash episode. Kevin Cash should be the Rays manager for the next 20 years. This is calling out his decision-making that's been bad for the last 2 days. And now we're going to talk about the offense a little bit. And we're going to talk about the bad right now, and then we're going to go to break and talk about the good. Yandy Diaz needs to put the ball in play with a runner on third and nobody out. The Rays had opportunities in the 8th and 9th to retake the lead, and they couldn't. And I know it's a big ask because it's just hard to hit. I get Yohander throws a 99-mile-per-hour splitter. I get he throws 102. But Yandy is, Yandy is someone that just needs to put bat on ball in that situation. And, get that run home after Cabby was fantastic in getting to third, after Daniel Jansen got on base 4 times. And look, if you're the offense, if you score 5 runs, you should win that game. You absolutely should. But it's hard not having a sour taste in your mouth when realizing that we had missed opportunities. We had a chance to put this game away in the 8th and 9th innings, and we couldn't. Because when you look up and down this lineup today, Yandy went 0-4, but Brandon Lau's hit streaks at 20. Junior 0-4 was good to see Aranda get a hit. And then the middle of the order to the bottom was really good. Aranda got that big double. Magnum 2-for-4. Josh Lowe had the big RBI as well. Taylor Walls, I know he got the 1-for-4, but man, I mean, he always seems to come up in really big spots that I would kind of like to see him pinch hit for, but he's never going to. Chandler Simpson was fantastic. This is probably Danny Jansen's best game as a Ray. And again, it was kind of all wasted because of what happened. So again, just really frustrating. And that's part of the joy of going live right after the game. You guys get my unfiltered thoughts. And you have, in just an ultra frustrating loss today that I think we're all frustrated with. And I hope I'm voicing a lot of things that you guys are also feeling. But, if you guys are feeling different, let me know in the comments in the live. We'll get to them shortly. But first, we're going to talk about a little bit of the good the offense did. We're going to talk about, is this the worst loss of the year? And we're going to look ahead to see how the Rays can avoid a sweep right after this. This episode is brought to you by Gametime. Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you to the game. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. And they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buy-in. Gametime is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for exciting upcoming MLB games. For example, when the Rays come back from the All-Star break, they have a big homestand that they'll probably need to win the way that they've been playing. So you guys can go out and support them. And they show great views of the seats. It's the best ticketing app to show what you're going to get before you get there. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. So again, if you guys are in the live, make sure you leave a like and comment. Again, let's talk about, is this the worst loss that the Rays have had this year? I mean, when you look at their schedule, I mean, this was just such a gut punch. And when you look this year, the one against the Phillies really stands out to me. The 7-6 game on May 9th, the one that almost kind of sparked the really good run that they went on. But I don't think it's crazy to say that this was the most frustrating, the biggest gut punch loss of the year. The Rays have now lost 5 out of 6 and 6 out of 8 if you go back even further. So, yeah, I just think this was really crucial for the Rays to get before going to Detroit, possibility to win a series. The Twins are not any good, and the Rays keep feeding them chances for the offense to get going. And now, I mean, we head to tomorrow because the Rays are going to have to face Joe Ryan, which is the Twins' best pitcher, against Drew Rasmussen, who I'm a little bit worried about because he has not looked like himself recently. And, if you look at what Rasmussen has done lately, it's been 4 earned against Athletics. He's really good against Kansas City, 5 innings, 0 hits, but 2 earned, 4 earned, 2 earned. Like, it's really good stuff, but not the dominant Drew Rasmussen we knew. And, he's still on that pitch count, which has been a little bit concerning. There's rumors that Joe Boyle didn't start today. They might bring up to start tomorrow. But, Drew Rasmussen has been the most consistent Rays pitcher this year, but that's what Joe Ryan has been for the Twins this year. Obviously, former Rays farmhand. He's 8-4 with a 2.7 ERA, and his whip is less than 1. And if you go to when he pitched against the Rays last time out, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned. So dominant stuff out of him last time he played in a win. So the Rays definitely need, to switch that up if they want a chance to win. But if you look at that game, Brandon Lau had a big day. He went 2 for 4. Jonathan Aranda had a big day. He went 2 for 4. So hopefully Hyesung Kim can play tomorrow. Obviously his whole situation has been unfortunate with him with the calf strain and stuff, but yeah, it was a frustrating weekend so far for the Rays. But let's get to the comments. Jack Steak says, "Well, Rays bullpen strap sucks now. Better fix it because it's a liability. Ruin a team finally with a good offense." Yeah, I don't know how they're going to fix it. You guys can talk about Joe Boyle, Ian Seymour, and Durham all you want. They're starting pitchers. I know Ian Seymour came out of the bullpen for his MLB debut. They are not bullpen arms. So I don't know where you go to for the bullpen. You pray Manny Rodriguez is a godsend when he comes back. So as we go to Rock 35377, so can we please talk all the World Series contender talk? You cannot lose a series after series to losing in last place teams and considered to be elite. I don't know if anyone was really talking about World Series contender. I think if things go right for the Rays, I can see them winning a weak American League. And that really, none of this really changes my mind. Baseball is 162 games. The Rays have one series against the Mets and Tigers and the best teams in baseball. Games like this are going to happen. It's okay to be frustrated with them. It's okay to criticize Kevin Cash in them. It's okay to criticize the bullpen in them. But that doesn't mean 2 games out of 162 that automatically doesn't mean the Rays can't make the ALCS. Are they perfect? No. Do they need probably 2 bullpen arms? Absolutely. But I think that's a little bit too far. As we go to Douglas Bautista, he says, ridiculous how they keep losing these games with this awful bullpen. They're wasting solid starting pitching. Kelly equals awful. Again, Kevin Kelly's been bad, but the job as a manager is to put your players in the best situation to succeed. And Kevin Cash did not do that yesterday with Uceta, and he did not do it today with Kevin Kelly. So, yes, Kevin Kelly was bad, but Kevin Cash needs a little bit of the loss as well. So as we go to Gary, says brutal loss. Once again, the Rays couldn't hold a lead. Some questionable bullpen decisions with bringing in Kelly and Clevenger. I think Clevenger was honestly worse than bringing in Kelly. I mean, that one made no sense to me. Just absolutely none. As we go to Gary again, is it time to bring in Seymour and Boyle? They're not bullpen arms. I don't know who you bring them up for. Like, they're going to give Taj a leash. They're going to give Shane Baz, who's been really good lately, a leash. Like, that, it's just, that's not going to change. So, no, I don't think so. As we go to Craig Kurtzman, he says Cash has no feel at all for the game lately. I don't disagree with this. You go to the double steal with no outs in the 7th yesterday with Hyesung Kim, pulled his calf on, and you go to the bullpen decisions lately. I mean, it happens. Managers aren't going to be perfect, but yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's Lucas Jonathan finally calling out the pen. Welcome to the club. Yeah, I've called him out before, obviously, but you got to understand stuff happens during a 6-month season, but. Again, so much of sports, like I said, is putting your team in a position to succeed. And the bullpen recently has not been in a position to succeed. Like, Garrett Clevenger was not put in a position to succeed yesterday. If we go look at Garrett Clevenger's days where he's pitched back-to-back days, and he threw 19 pitches yesterday, I'm pretty sure. So let's look at his success when he's done that. So in pitching back-to-back days, when throwing 19 or more pitches, he hasn't done it. So there's no thing to go off of. He hasn't done it. So Kevin Cash has asked him to do something he hasn't done all year, and surprise, he failed. If he did it, I mean, I'm not finding it. Granted, I'm skimming through it. So Yeah, it's just it is just not great. So yeah, this is a really good question. Fairbanks knows he's falling out of favor with Kevin Cash. I don't falling out of favor with Kevin Cash. I don't get it. Hey, having to question the manager I hold in such high regard. I'd agree with the end part, and maybe Orsi has, but again, Orsi is not a 2-inning pitcher. If you fall out of favor for trying to throw a guy second inning when that's not his strong suit, that's not really his fault. And then the Fairbanks not being in the game the last 2 days, it's just utterly ridiculous. Now there's an off day tomorrow. Now they're going to throw Fairbanks when they're down like 6-1 tomorrow or something crazy. I mean, Pete pitching once a week is ridiculous. And now he could have pitched today and tomorrow with an off day Monday. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand. A lot of stuff I'm really interested in to see. As we go to Craig, he says Pete has to be in the game when the Twins issue their best 2 arms, are the best arm to get 2 innings. Just get to the 10th and you have an advantage. It was a bullpen game for the Twins. The Twins threw their 3 best relievers in this game. The other one couldn't have thrown today. So that just makes it even more baffling. You get it to extras. You're facing a worse arm than the Rays are going to throw out, and you're probably going to win the game, in my opinion. So, again, I'm going to shut down. It's Michael says, you have Boyle and Ian Seymour down there wasting away, throwing away games. You should be winning because you can't trust your bullpen outside a couple of guys. They aren't bullpen arms. So you're not going to bring them up if it's not the postseason to pitch in the bullpen. So as we go to Dante, I don't know if I missed it, but Kim just had a rest day. He had a cramp yesterday. So whatever that means for him. As we go to Mike, he says, if Hy-Sung Kim's hurt once again, why did they pay him approximately 22 over 2 years? Because the Rays shortstop position has been so awful. And they thought half a year Hy-Sung Kim was better than a full year of Taylor Walls, or basically half a year of Taylor Walls. But no one saw this calf strain, but he could be fine tomorrow if he kind of clears the procedures and is good to go. So yeah, obviously a really frustrating loss, guys, but a chance for the Rays to bounce back tomorrow and have the potential to salvage a game. And the Rays have not been swept in a long time. I don't think the Rays have been swept since they got swept by the Phillies, which was way back in early May. So we're going on 2 months without the Rays being swept. And if you look at the Baseball Savant, which obviously I really like to look at, Taj had 12 swings and misses, which is really good. Junior hit the hardest ball today at 110. But if you look at some of these hits, just not a lot went the Rays' way. The Rays expected batting average today was 308. The Twins was 246. So again, just the Rays had 2 of these games against Southland. I said 2 against the Twins. Like the Rays right now are combined 1-4 against the Twins and Athletics. Just not acceptable. We'll see if they can turn around tomorrow. So if you guys made it all the way to the end, I very much appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon, hopefully after a Rays win. We'll see you then.